What is up? Oh my God, we are pumping. I hope you like that little jig here. Now, yeah, we got a little bit of pullback here. Ondo's still above $1. You see Chainlink messing around at $17. Bitcoin pulling back just a touch right now, but there is some major news that's coming down the pike for crypto assets at large. And this comes from the $9 trillion opportunity being opened up and the investment capital for investors that are now going to have direct access to crypto in their 401ks, baby. The integration is full steam ahead right now. Today we have at 2:30, Trump slated to sign off on a historic crypto bill that we're going to be taking a look at. Also, might be firing off along here. I'm seeing a little bit of a pullback back down to that $117,500 zone as we speak. Bitcoin, seeing if this volume node is going to end up being that short-term support. Now, yes, I got to be a bit careful here because we're sitting right above the CME gap, as you see this marked on the show here. But I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of feeling it right now. I know I usually leave Fridays alone. I am a busy man today. One House Productions. What up, everybody? Old school from the, and I'm going to be on the Discover show here and there live in the mornings. I'm going to be dropping my deep dive alpha informational videos here on the Blockchain Basement channel, of course, and continuously going live in the Discover Investments Group Discord. So I'm all over the place, and I'm hosting shows for Mario Nafal in the emergency sense when they happen. It's a crazy life we live. What up, Robert Hosin? You might be safe here. I don't know. Isaac's he's moving stuff around. We're actually getting ready to upgrade studios, and I'm super freaking excited to see the new layout here. It's going to be a wild day. It's going to be a wild week, honestly, guys. But where we're at in terms of Bitcoin price action, I am getting enticed by this, a nice pullback. And essentially, I'm getting a lot more data from this current range that we're certainly sitting on right now. We are sitting at the exact point of control for Bitcoin in this current range. Very important time to prove it. My son, my young man, Mr. Bronson. How are you doing, buddy? Sure. Go eat the chips that I brought you, the healthy ones. You already ate those? All right. Fine. God, he just keeps eating. You know what? I'm going to miss having the kids. I had to go to a couple meetings, getting the kids ready for the next schools. It's been a blessing being able to have them here in the office here. Now, it's been a blessing building this channel with you guys. Honestly, we are at, I don't know if you see that. Where are we at here? We're at about 80,000 subs. Are we getting close to there? Let's check it out. Let's check out where we're at here. Blockchain Basement. Let's see how shadow banned we are first and foremost. Not too bad. We're just under 80,000 subs. Shout out to everyone that's, if you're watching the show, make sure to subscribe to the channel, folks. It costs you nothing. It also costs you nothing to get inside the trading side of our Discover Investments Group Discord. Just sign up with LBank, channel partner, or you can utilize Blowfin. And you know what? I've been moving so fast. Let's see here. I gotta get the right one. I've been going 100 miles a minute. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, where's the other one? There we go. LBank channel partner, Blowfin channel partner, Bitcoin IRA. Now, if you aren't already looking at IRAs, investment vehicles for your crypto, you're not doing it the right way. And of course, you know me and my fantastically loved Arculus cold storage device. Comes in this beautiful package, steel card, 3-factor authentication. Keep your crypto safe. Become your own bank. Use code BASE20 and get 20% off. Now, how does the crypto market landscape look this morning? Let's have a gander. So, Bitcoin down by 0.7%, but Ethereum still holding strong at $3,567. Very interesting moves going on. Chainlink even trying to hold on near that $18 level that we pumped up to last night. Chainlink was absolutely screaming and nearly hit $19. Son, what is up, buddy? Yes, it is my second. After this, we'll go get your treat. Okay. He's like, Dad, is this your second show? I do a lot of shows. I'm constantly looking at the charts, working hard in the background for you guys. Now, this moment on Bitcoin price action, I'm kind of getting enticed to maybe fire off some pow here. Kind of getting enticed. Let's go look at the charts a little bit more concisely. This is the 3 minute. The money flow is trying to flow back on up to the upside on the 3. Nice little reset. Oh, it's getting enticing here. This is the market cipher B indicators. Then I may as well turn on the the resistance and support levels here, sitting right above that support spot right there. Very, very intriguing price action. It's been kind of interesting noticing that we are a little bit dumpy, during the day of Wall Street being open, which is kind of new to me. And then we pump more so after hours. Now, I set the internet on fire last night. If you guys don't already, please do follow me on X. We have @Truth Crypto here on X, and I set the internet on fire when I had Grok analyze the Clarity bill and find out 3 different cryptos that it might actually deem as mature. But make sure you're following me there, folks. Let's get into the rest of the stories. We have Trump mean tweeting last night on True Social, going after Rupert Murdoch in the Wall Street Journal over a hit piece published this evening, declaring he's going to sue his ass off and his third-rate newspapers too. The war machine of Trump continues on late into the night. Now, on this, Chair Atkins talking about the SEC rolling out exceptions for regulations in tokenization. Now, he's basically been given the signal, all systems are a go. There are, what we already have seen, movements in Ondo and tokenized treasuries. But I think what is coming is going to make people pretty disgusted with the upside that's coming for RWAs. We've been so long trapped in this mindset that the market's not going to move. People are in absolute disbelief. And really, we're just at the beginning. Holy God, this is the craziest comment of the day. Shout out to you, that guy. Thanks to Drew and the other hosts of Hit Network. I'm up 3,300% and going higher. Oh my God, I love that. Shout out to you, man. Having some freaking brass balls holding the crypto while it's not popular. We come out here every single day, and it's backwards because on the days we're down, those are the days that I'm most excited to cover crypto. I'm very bullish leaning, and I'm in this situation where it's kind of weird. Considering top blasted along on Bitcoin, but why go against the trend? Really, we are quite coiled up here, right under that zone. Ooh, it's getting enticing. It is getting enticing. Where is liquidity sitting right now? Go check out liquidity on Binance to see what the magnets are doing. We got a couple magnets to the upside. We got a couple magnets to the upside on the short term. What's up, food is life? We got definite magnets to the upside. This is absolutely gorgeous. Maddening. What the hell? All right, so here's the 48 hours where you start to see the larger context. There is this 100 million to snag right below us. And this is why, sitting above the CME gap, it's just making me feel a little bit extra cautious. But we're going to keep an eye on that as we go through the rest of the news here, because we had extremely bullish news come out yesterday. This is Joshua Jake. Trump preparing to open up $9 trillion in U.S. retirement markets to crypto. Now, these $9 trillion in the U.S. retirement, they're going to have access to crypto, gold, and other investments. But crypto is definitely on the mind's eye of a lot of people. BlackRock especially, shielding it. BlackRock has some key movements that are happening within its ETF flows over the course of the last 48 hours that we need to pay attention to. These are big, big deals. We're surrounded by all this bullish news, but here we condense that to what does that actually mean in terms of price potential. Now, the Genius Act coming out. We have an interesting set of words here. The Genius Act does not allow interest to be passed on to stablecoin holders. This could be good news for liquidity version 2s. No U.S. regulator can stop interest in immutable stablecoins. Let's check this out and see what the conversation is all about here.
The way the framework works is that the stablecoin issuers cannot pass on interest to the token holders.
Why is that?
Look, I mean, I don't know if there's a great principled reason. This was a compromise that was necessary to get the support of the banking industry, quite frankly.
They see it as competition, I'm betting.
Well, there was a lot of concern from community banks that if stablecoins were paying 5% interest, it would put them out of business. I think that concern, although understandable from them, I don't think that that's what would have happened. But these are the types of compromises, quite frankly, that you need in order to pass legislation. I hope that at some point in the future, we'll revisit that and allow stablecoin issuers to kind of just do what they want to do.
Right.
And that'll be easier once the banks get into the act and they're participating in this industry.
Got it.
But
see, that's the whole thing right there. It would put the banks out of business if they allow DeFi out of its cage that it's in right now. I don't think that there's any stopping DeFi, and I think that these banks are going to be forced to adapt or die. We have the likes of the lead of the SEC rolling out this. The SEC Chair Paul Atkins congratulated the House of Representatives on indeed passing that Genius Act. We're going to be watching that live here on the show. And there is some deep undertone alpha that I got last night on a show with a very, very key person in terms of information. Now, this person had warned me about Bitcoin dominance lasting much longer than us 4-year cycle analysts were prepared for. He warned me about this quite some time ago. I'm going to build you some context on this guy here. So his name is Matt, and we were talking last night about a few different things. Matt, in the middle of 2023, warned me that Bitcoin dominance was going to last far beyond our expectations. Market expectations were that all Bitcoin dominance would fall around Christmas Eve, historically similar to what we had seen in this fall of Bitcoin dominance and this fall of Bitcoin dominance post-halving. Instead, what happened is he warned me about it, and it came true. And I'm glad I started talking about it on the basement just off of his words, because he's very inside the know when it comes to these ETF flows, when it comes to Wall Street. He said Bitcoin dominance is going to go up higher and longer than we're ready for. We continued on, but now we are pulling back huge in Bitcoin dominance. We are at a 61.6%. This is a massive, massive pullback candle. Just this one weekly candle alone has stretched 5% in losses of Bitcoin's control over the rest of the market. Now, it doesn't mean Bitcoin's price is collapsing by any means, but this is something very, very important. And you know what? Matt warned me about something that is an altcoin dream is coming true September and October of this year. So we are going to be talking about that on the show today, but all systems are go. We have Paul Atkins in the know that RWA's tokenization is a play that we are ready for. We're building the infrastructure for, but guess what? The OTC desks have only got 140,000 Bitcoin. And you know what? Matt told me last night, he works at an ETF organization, a big one. He's like, guess what? It's getting kind of hard to buy Bitcoin OTC at this point. It's getting kind of hard to use the OTC option to buy these Bitcoin ETF, requests. This is where the supply squeeze chaos is really getting close, folks. We only have 146,000 Bitcoin left. It was at 156,000, 158,000 just a day before this. So this, yes, it's a supply crunch. Veteran crypto, absolutely. And it's exponentially increasing in its velocity. This is where chaos can absolutely begin. This is where the supply squeeze of a century is setting up to break out. Now, Glassnode alt season also highlighting potential to break out. The indicator fired off on July 9th, signaling expanding stablecoin supplies, inflows to Bitcoin and Ethereum, and a rising altcoin cap market. So here we have Bitcoin in the black. We have the alt cap moving averages, and then we also have the alt cap moving averages on the 7-day. And you can see these have crossed into a bullish momentum in a very, very sharp manner. Very good sign for crypto at large. Let's go check out. God, I'll tell you, I'm enticed by this volume node, guys. I'm enticed by this volume node that we're at on Bitcoin. Ooh, we're at 17.5. All right. You know what? Just a touch. Just a touch. We're going to do this. We're going in. We're going in. These are getting weaker. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm in. I'm in. I had to do it. The volume node was too enticing. We put a long on. I'm gonna monitor this, on the side here, sidebar action. Where do I monitor this at? Here we go. I got a lot of monitors, and this is why I like streaming at this desk here. All right, so I'll move on to this. This will be the chart, and I got my kind of active trade being monitored here. I'm in, baby. Let's do this. Let's make our way to these freaking liquidity levels. This is the 48-hour. I'm more looking in the short term here. We got some liquidity washouts at 120, 120.5, and then 121.8. So that'd be a nice juicy squeeze. Now, moving on to the rest of the show here, we got some juice. We got Bitcoin digital shifts to focus on Ethereum, raising $6 million and begins buying Ethereum as that treasury asset. This is more and more companies leaning in to Ethereum treasuries. The hype is there for Ethereum, but honestly, we are just at the very precipice of this. The deep alpha, the crazy part about this, BlackRock, with a hit rate of acceptance of about 580 to 1, has now just filed for an Ethereum ETF with staking. All right. The ETF with staking availability with BlackRock is that nitrous oxide in the gasoline tank of these Ethereum ETFs that I think is going to bleed into Solana, but a heavy, heavy focus on Ethereum. And I think that is going to cause some real chaos in terms of where this altcoin market can go. Ethereum ETFs having staking are going to offer a very high level of yield, and it's going to be a very competitive product to be available for investors that are looking for options and consistent inflows. Now, when we're talking about what kind of investors they are, these are not small funds. This is not a couple $100,000. We're talking about organizations that control tens, hundreds of billions of dollars, some of them trillions of dollars on their management sheets. And now the conversation is going to be highlighted that, hey, you can go earn some yield over there on Ethereum. And I think that is going to cause some real chaos. Now, yesterday, I started the internet on fire with a little post. I did a little post about my results that I got from Grok about what are the likely mature blockchains. I prompted Grok to analyze the Clarity Act 2025 and then make a designation for what cryptos would be designated as mature under those guidelines. The results came in as follows: Bitcoin, fully decentralized proof of work consensus, fair token distribution and mining, no centralized control or holding entity over the 20% supply, open source code, and long established functionality without dominant governance. Now, Ethereum, I was talking to BJ about this yesterday. Ethereum, we don't quite know exactly how centralized some of those old school ICO wallets truly are. But according to the analysis and just the information available on the front end, the Grok did call Ethereum one of those likely mature assets. And then number 3 was Cardano. Cardano being, and I've said it over and over again, it's like the price hasn't been sexy in my holding experience for Cardano, but as a decentralization maxi, I guess you could say, not a maxi, but I'm a hopeful romantic of decentralization. I'm a holder of Cardano. It was a little shocking for me to get that result. I'm not going to lie. Put it out on the internet and people lost their minds here. We had like just under 1,000 likes, a lot of people bookmarking to yell about it, and then 220 shares. So shout out to you for getting this. We've reached 52,000 people. Now, a couple other accounts are highlighting this Clarity Act, recognizing then this is a Clarity Act under its parameters set forth for what is mature, likely to recognize these as mature: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. The rest didn't get called out. Chainlink didn't get mentioned. And really no product in particular got a mention in the Clarity Act, just the parameters of what that project would need to fall under to be considered mature by U.S. government standards. Crazy, crazy times, but crazier things have happened, folks. Now, another crazy thing I covered on the Discover show this morning, but just a disgusting amount of shorts just got wrecked. Ethereum leveraged net total shorts were absolutely going parabolic right before the mega pump. We were at $3,000. The shorts did not give up, and boy, howdy, did they get decimated. And within that buy stack, World Liberty Financial highlighted as being some of those $5 million lump purchases here. Very crazy to see. It's almost like the Trump brothers, the Trump World Liberty Fi organization knows something disgusting is coming for Ethereum. And this is also interesting. As these ETFs increased, you had those net shorts suppressing the price as the ETFs were starting to hedge into that. Now these shorts have been demolished and the ETF inflows are just increasing, folks. Things are about to get real spicy. And here's a quick demonstration. We had Coinbase roll out their integration and their kind of rebranding of Base. Now they got a Square and they're rolling out a DEX powered by Aerodrome, one of our deep picks here in the blockchain basement. Shout out to the holders that are getting freaking rich off of holding Aerodrome because we identified this very, very early. Here is Brian Armstrong demonstrating this new product.
So we're here at the base launch event, and I got this card, $10 in USDC. So let me just try out the new base app here. It's fired up. It says tap to hold this next to my phone. Let's just see what happens. Oh, wow. Okay. Claim funds. I just got $10. That was fast. Wow. Okay. They just upgraded the chain. I think it's going faster and faster now. So that's a pretty cool activation event. Love it.
New products are coming out, man. These Coinbase, these people are getting ready to roll out on a nationwide level. And I think that, you know, with the push that is obvious, the favoritism of Circle and Coinbase by US government is going to lead them to that pasture. I think it absolutely is coming to America in a very, very short amount of time. And when it does break, when it is mainstream, that's when the real juicy gains are gone. You watching this show right now are in the thick of the wild west of turning $100,000 to $10 million. We are looking at that situation right now. I feel that in my bones. Some of these projects are going to really, really shock us over the next few years. And you know what? One of those projects that might shock me, XRP. Right? XRP. And now, Portnoy, he's a little sad. He's got a message to his XRP Army comrades here. Let's have a listen.
I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I can't lie to my people. I have a confession. I sold XRP when it went up to 240 because the guy who told me to buy it told me that I should sell it because he thought Circle would compete with him. He was unhappy with it. It's up 60% since I sold it, and I would have made millions, and I want to cry, and I don't own it anymore. Even though I was like the leader of the XRP army, I sold it.
The lead, I've heard that tagline before, the leader of the XRP army. Now, Dave is dealing with bags that are in the millions, if not tens of millions of dollars, and he indeed would have had millions of dollars of gains. And now when I want to talk about this story, this lesson here is investors are on many different playing fields. Some investors are going in with $100. They're looking for a moonshot. They're looking for that deep alt ticket that can take $100,000 right into their pocket off of $100 investment. The likelihood of you hitting that is very, very minimal. I'm middle class. Maybe I'm doing well in the middle class, but me, I'm looking at the top 100. I'm looking at the top 100 mostly, as some in the top 200. And when I think about the average retail investor, there is no denying the unit bias that will be found when they come here. They see Bitcoins at, holy shit, $120,000. That's too rich for my blood. I'm going to look down the list, 3,500, a little bit better. And then frickin' XRP sitting here at $3. Honestly, with those retirement funds rolling out access with, retail is not even here. We're not dealing with the misspelled version of Ethereum on Google Trends yet. We're not dealing with hyper overheated market right now. We are dealing with very low sentiment, and we're dealing with complete complacency within the average person that does not have a damn clue about all the things that are happening on Capitol Hill right now. Literally today, a historic bill is being signed by Trump. Very few of the average people out there are going to be like, woo, it's us crypto nerds. It's us people with the bags already that are celebrating this all happening in live time. But when I really think about the influx of people to come, they're going to be looking at XRP. There is no denying. And for XRP, my target's still $5 to $6. things could get extra frothy and we could breach that for sure. You know, if we saw Bitcoin dominance, fall all the way down to an old school trend line that is well beyond my expectations, if we see Bitcoin dominance go down to the 45 range, then yeah, you're going to have potential and even XRP to hit $7-8. Maybe things go ballistic, $10. You know, you're talking 600-800 billion dollar market caps from where it sits right now. So there is a potential for a situation like that to happen even for XRP. But guess what? If this level falls all the way down to what I'm talking about, then the projects that are lower than XRP, you know, the Swees, the Stellars, the Chainlinks, the Hederas, all of these things, as long as they don't screw it up, we're in the season where as long as you don't really screw the pooch on, you know, your project, your leadership, your marketing, as long as you just keep the damn lights on during this bull market, you're going to be pretty much okay. I will say that. So I think a lot of these market caps are going to increase much more exponentially than XRP, but XRP's ship will indeed rise with the tide. There is no denying that. So just a quick highlight, had to say it that way. You know, some people, you know, feel differently than I am, and that's fine. You know, if you're making money in crypto, if you bought the lows of XRP, good job. You know, good job. If you bought XRP 17 cents, you're up well beyond a 10x, right? You're almost at, I think, damn near 20x. So money can be made. You have to just choose the right times to buy, the right times to sell. I don't know where the hell that came from. Did I just get logged out? What is going on? So now we got to go. Shout out to Dave Portnoy with screaming at his employees for, you know, being comedians. Really wholesome guy. Probably should stop picking your nose on stream though, bud. Probably should stop picking your nose on stream. Now, with this extra chaos, the animal spirits are here. Pez signs up and teams up with Pudgy Penguins. We're going to have Pengu Pez here in a bit. I do want to get a vibe check from the chat. If you saw a Pudgy Penguin Pez dispenser, would you YOLO buy it at the grocery store? Me, I would buy 10 of them. I would buy 10 of these damn things. Just let me know, you know, would you be FOMOing into Pudgy Penguins Pez dispensers? I'm kind of feeling them, man. I'm kind of feeling them. And I like Pez. You know, I got a message like someone's like, you got to hit the gym. And it's like, you know what? Eat trash, lift heavy stuff. That is my motto for life here. And yeah, you know, generally my wife gets me like all the healthy supplements around that, but I love cheeseburgers and I love pizza and I love lifting heavy shit. And that's just my life. I'm not going to apologize for it. I am what I am. And you know what? If I saw that Pez dispenser, I'd be like, get up. I would get up in there. I would eat that whole damn thing, probably 10 seconds. Now, my timeline's been flooded with this. Look at this photograph. This is this is kind of an interesting side tangent here to be faithful to your wife or spouse. This is the original post. Imagine losing half your life savings at a Coldplay concert. Coldplay put CEO of Astronomer and the head of their HR at Astronomer on Jumbotron looking cozy during their concert. And this is the original post. I don't think Alex actually did work there, but I've just been surrounded. Just be good, okay? Just be good. There's a lot of value to, you know, marriage is not easy. It is work, but it is fulfilling work. Having 4 kids is not an easy thing for me to do by any means, but god dang, they're cute. And it is really nice to have a big family to come home to celebrate the wins together with, because you know what? The real legacy in this life, that's the value. Legacy is the value. What we leave behind, that matters quite a bit. Just wanted to talk about it that way. And the U.S. government's come out with new designs on the most stealth aircraft we've ever seen. Prototypes of the XF-907 ultra stealth aircraft achieve complete invisibility via the exterior coating consisting of the entirety of the Epstein client list. Thank God we're taking that technology and moving it to the battlefield. Elon Musk cannot stop trolling. Wow. I cannot believe Epstein killed himself before realizing it was all just a hoax, right? Just a hoax. So there's that. Good times happening across the board. Me fully black-pilled off of this last situation. Let's go on over to check out the trade. Check out how our trade's doing. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? Chat. Woo! All right. We popped. She bang. Ooh, 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 ooh. Maybe I'll move my stop up potentially. Maybe I'll move my stop up just to cover the cost of the trade. Maybe keep this a safe trade. But man, we're on the brink of action. We might break up big time on this. All right. Shout out to that. I love printing my own tether during the day. You know what? The Fed can do it. I can do it too. And you can do it too. You can get learned on how to trade. Join the Discord. I know trading looks like some mysterious warlock movement that I'm doing when I'm talking about moving averages, blah, blah, blah. Green dot, and the yellow dot, and the X's, sounds like witchcraft. I get it. But join the Discord and we'll get you all learned up there. Now, let's go on over to altcoins, you guys. This is a shit show. Pumped Up Fun is turning into a shit show. I did warn against this project. Now let's hop on over. I think CoinMarketCap will do a good job getting me the right one. I know it's about like 1.3, 1.5 billion. Yes, this is it. All right. So this is Pumped Up Fun's price here. If you bought in to the most extractive device ever designed in crypto and expected the originating system of it to not cause you pain, well, boy, howdy, here you are learning that lesson. Pump Fun, teaching some lessons, and it's got a great chart pattern on it right now, as highlighted in this post from Gary, the Unhinged Giraffe. This is the limp dick pattern. This is the limp dick, droopy balls pattern happening to Pumped Up Fun. But now is the fun part of the show. This is the fun part of the show because I have all the metrics to be targeting upper echelon of price expectations for Bitcoin. In my mind, now looking at 200 to 250, right? All of these things moving forward on a legislative level, all of this conversation about OTC desks getting near that inflection point where it's actually becoming difficult to buy Bitcoin, and the coming Fed rate cuts, September and likely December as things sit right now, a potential of 3 rate cuts. We are looking at a disgusting amount of bullish metrics. So I'm looking at the top end of those price ranges. I'm looking at the middle points and I'm understanding what are those different sell zones and what are the different, projects that are maybe being overlooked, right? There are projects that are going to be like that are overlooked in our current situation. And I don't want to leave anything on the table. There's a lot of ecosystems that are doing good. And I think the first and foremost one that Isaac has tagged for me here makes a whole lot of sense. It is Cetus. All right. So Cetus is a main kind of, it's almost like a auxiliary play. How I did with Ethereum to Base and Aerodrome and Morpho. Cetus is a very, very interesting project. Now, the total value locked compared to the price is moving more in tandem with each other, which, isn't a horrible thing. I think Cetus had a big pullback during a hack, a protocol logic hack that happened right here. But honestly, if you're looking at the expansion of SWI, which every day, I come to this, SWI is a very, very fast moving asset. It's now nearly $4. It's pulling back it was, one of the main gainers, honestly. Cetus protocol is one that is absolutely on my radar. Cetus protocol, I can say, is very, very intriguing to me. I haven't added it to the bag, and I cheer on the SWI ecosystem at large because I like seeing new protocols that are working hard to advance, to move transaction speeds higher, and do it as much as they can in terms of degrees of decentralization on proof of stake setups. I think SWI is a good one. SWI is number 11 if you're taking out market caps of stablecoins. If you're not including USDC and Tether, SWI is number 11. It's not in the top 10 in terms of actual crypto projects. It's number 11. Right behind it on its heels is Chainlink, and the battle to be in that top 10 rages on, but Hyperliquid has been very, very strong, still over that $44 level. Cardano busted back in to the top 10 here last night with that major price movement. We're up 14% on Cardano right now. But these are hyperbole conditions that we're entering in right now. So this level, this price action on Cardano is a pump for ants, right? Like when I look at the all-time graph of Cardano, it has pretty consistent higher highs each bull market. It's been around for quite some time, since about 2017. And, now we're entering kind of that turbulence before the upside moment for Cardano. And I am targeting around $5 to $6 for Cardano. I absolutely am. So it's nothing crazy high, but then you know what? If it's a wild card that gets accepted because of that decentralization nature of it, and we see larger government interest in it, things can go absolutely ballistic on this graph in a very short amount of time. So now we move on to Ondo. Ondo is well underpriced. I can say that currently Ondo is extremely underpriced. And if you just a great account to follow if you are interested in Ondo is Ben Grossman. He's kind of on the marketing side. Let's see, he's a marketing guy for Ondo. He is hinting at something very, very big on his Twitter here. Crypto Week delivered, and this is just the start. Can't drop too much alpha, but just don't be surprised if you see Ondo change design of structure of chart very, very quickly. Ondo is looking to tokenize Wall Street, tiny little industry of Wall Street, and when we're thinking about things like this, Ondo's probably one of the more disruptive altcoins with better teeth in making it happen, into the carcass of making it happen than most other blockchains out there. And yes, there will be price speculation on tons of vaporware, 100%. I feel that way. It doesn't have to be, solving world hunger that moment of it. Has to be positioned in the right sector, in the right market, in the right market conditions to really make our portfolio smile when we pull back up that coin market cap. Now, Drift, next on the to-do list here. Drift held up very, very nicely and set higher highs on its TVL graph here, as you can see. Very interesting. TVL graph is showing a very consistent up and to the right movement in terms of total value locked. The price total beatdown zone for Drift. So feeling bullish about where Drift is at positioned on this chart. Now, Marinade, easy play. This is an auxiliary play to Solana. That Ethereum ETF conversation, you're going to see Solana staking ETFs at least fought for at a legislative level. It'll be just ridiculous if they approve Solana staked ETFs within this year. But a lot of those underlying systems and mechanisms come to Marinade for staking on Solana. So it's an important project to keep an eye on. Now, you know me, my baby Chainlink, and yes, the market cap expanding beyond the price. But now we're set up to essentially be around 720 million tokens out by Q1 of 2026. And we are, honestly, I'm feeling very, very bullish on my Chainlink holds right now. Seeing these clarity acts move into place. And not only this, we see Chainlink leading up the conversation for a proof of act, forcing companies and tokenized products to prove their reserves. And guess what? They're going to have to operate through CCIP to get that data over to the approved parties. It literally might become illegal not to use Chainlink to prove your assets 5 years from now if that bill does move forward. So we're on the edge of it. The regulatory clarity that we're looked for so damn long in this crypto market is at the doorway. It's just about, do we have the gusto to take action? Intelligence is great, but actions matter even more, folks. I've seen people with very low intelligence be very, very wealthy in this market just by moving with absolute violence in investments and having the chaos, the absolute unmitigated gall to hold those altcoins through the lows. There's a guy I knew that, I met him about 2 or 3 years ago when Solana was at literally $9 or $10. He came into the office. He's been a Solana bull for a really long time. His ego was really shooken up because the Sam Bankman-Fried debacle at Alameda Research put a lot of shade on Solana. He said, man, I'm doubting myself, but I'm just going to keep buying Solana. I'm just going to keep buying it, right? This is a guy that got in before the mega pump of 2021 on Solana. This guy layered into Solana even at the lows when sentiment was in the gutter for Solana. When Solana was at these prices I speak of, let's go down memory lane. So Solana was down here in this trench. I was like, you know what? It's probably going to keep existing because NFT nerds love it. Those NFT nerds evolved into a meme coin cabal and absolutely skyrocketed use case again on Solana. While many other altcoins slept, the meme coin hyper phase happened on Solana. That dude who was so beat down, but he kept buying. He kept conviction in this project. You know, even his later buys, the higher buys at 10, now is at $178 a piece. This thing peaked nearly $300 on that Trump coin release. Doesn't even show it on the overall graph. And this is where Solana went. Damn near $300, tapping out about $293. So oftentimes it just takes long-term conviction and moving with violence at the lows of each general trend that you're looking at. Drew Ventus is. What are you talking about, Jason Casper's chicken? Oh my God. Oh my God. Solana, the comeback kid of the cycle? 100%. 100%. Solana was absolutely the comeback kid of this cycle. There is no denying this. And the people that had long-term vision of Solana, like my buddy, he kept buying it. And guess what? Now he's more than 10x those buys, even in the current range kind of midpoint that Solana is at right now. So just some food for thought. You know, I know a lot of people, I see them in the comments, they're like, oh my God, I'm flopping and groping, I'm groping and I'm flopping. What should I do? Sometimes you really just need to take a breath, take a look at the larger market movements, monthly graphs matter, and not get lost in the noise, right? And on a cultural level, I'm a hardcore, you know, at this point, black-pilled libertarian. And I don't want to get distracted by all this political jargon going back and forth because that takes time away from me making them gains. I love making gains. I love providing security for my family, and the, you know, worst enemy of the banks, of the control cabal that everyone's so hot and bothered by, and me myself as well. The best way to fight back against it is to be your own bank. Buy your Bitcoin, put it on cold storage device. We got Arculus as a channel sponsor. Click the link in the description. Be able to make your own food, hunt your own food, be a sovereign individual. Nothing is more dangerous to the powers that be than a sovereign individual that has the brass balls to be an individual in today's day and age, man, because so many people just fall into the sheep herd and they just get led to slaughter. And that's just what I see happening across the board. Judge Jason got into Morpho early. Good job, man. DGen coin are we looking at today? All right, let's see. A low cap gems just like your wife. I have a Ventus on Coinbase, 30 mil market cap, stays dormant for months. All right, let's go look at Aventus. Let's go look at Aventus. Go check it out, babe. Let me know if this is the right one. So, oh yeah, I mean, this must be the right one. I see the ebbs and flows you're talking about here. Started 2018, another peak 2021. Saying this, they really ran in that baby bull run of March 24. Very interesting. Pretty consistent higher lows. Market cap at $10 million. Holy God, this is a micro cap. DGen pick, but it definitely has its seasons of push, doesn't it? Absolutely. Got to note that. Credit where credit is due, man. This thing moves in very cyclical manner. A lot of people literally are sitting on the sidelines saying March 2024 was the top. There's a lot of people that are expecting this is the top for a lot of these altcoins. I highly doubt that. And really the context of this, you guys, is Ethereum is not even past its market cap highs from last bull market without regulatory clarity. The Ethereum market cap hit $550 billion. We're at 432 right now. I think that this market cap is going to effing double where we're at right now, I think that this $3.86 trillion market cap is going to end up being 9. I think it's going to go, half of this is 4.5. I think we're going to $9 billion in terms of market cap. This leaves Ethereum dominance as a question. Where can Ethereum dominance actually go from here? Did some kind of specific explanations of what this means on a video that's coming out very, very soon. But Ethereum dominance is moving up with debt aggression. Baby, we are at 11.3%. And historically, 20% dominance for Ethereum was very, very normal on the market. But I have identified some interior resistant zones of markets past right here at 20%. I'll show you this, 20% right there, and then 14% right here. These are the different shelves. And in a, okay, we're having a regular old altcoin market. I could see Ethereum rising to 14% dominance of a $9 trillion market cap. Now, if things get extra frothy and we see Bitcoin dominance fall to that crazy mid 40% range, that's where you're seeing a 20% dominance level of Ethereum over the entire crypto market cap, which in my view is going to that $8 to $9 trillion range. Major, major money. And this is where we're talking that $7,000 to $12,000 Ethereum, depending on how high this dominance can actually go. Another interesting dominance graph to look at is Solana dominance. Solana dominance, this is Solana's control of the entire market cap of crypto, and it is trying to bounce and hold support at that previous pump to moment of 2.5%. Solana dominance is something we do not want to discount going up and to the right, because AI infrastructure has heavily preferred to build out on Solana. Now, I do see the rumblings of some AI agents getting enticed to go start expanding over to Ethereum now that they have transaction fees heavily reduced and things of that nature. But Solana dominance is nothing that I want to bet against over the next couple of months here. I think that things could absolutely get nuts in terms of this. And this is where the stupid games begin. You know what I mean? Looking at these top ecosystems and just noting where they're bouncing off of historical trend lines, and just knowing that, man, Solana's expansion and control of this market actually might not be done, right? We might not be done seeing Solana expand. So it really comes to having, long-term holdability of many of these different projects. Many of these boats are going to rise with the tide, and it's about being positioned ahead of them, right? It's about being positioned ahead of them. I am curious, another project that we have been shopping around, or I have been shopping around for, and seeing if I can get more market data to find good entry points, is Mamo. This is an AI agent through Base, kind of derived from the team behind Moonwell, but you know what? An AI agent within the Coinbase wallet doing DeFi for me sounds like a just disgustingly bullish proposition. So Mamo is starting to develop a little bit of volume node action here, and I can see that 12 cents flat trying to hold pretty strong for it. So I am keeping a very, very close eye on this project as well. I think the design of having an AI agent out there, hey, I want to find this level of yield with this level of risk, go do it, AI robot. That's a pretty damn cool application of what AI agents are capable of doing for us here in crypto, right? And an advancement in technology that I think is very, very underestimated right now. And it's going to hypercharge the expansion of decentralized finance across the world for years on end, having these AI agents capable of moving through pools for us. It's a bullish sentiment. It's a bullish use case. Mamo is on the front end of that. This is almost a situation where I was like looking at Morpho before it was cool, and I was like, Morpho might get chosen for lending within the Coinbase app. It happened. Morpho's been going absolutely ballistic. And, I've been complaining about being a little bit light on AI plays. Mamo is looking pretty damn juicy for me. And Morpho, it's been going absolutely great on the Morpho charts here. Morpho's sitting here trying to build that support back up at $2, historical level, shelf, or have you, of $2 price action for Morpho. But really, Morpho, I think, is going to the 5 to 10 maybe $15 billion market cap. I don't even want to do the analysis if it goes higher than 15 billion, because then I'm too rich. I'm too rich. I wouldn't even know who to trust. I couldn't trust myself. You know, that's what would happen if Morpho breached those levels there. But Morpho, the buy point was delicious, 87 cents. You couldn't beat that with a stick. Shout out to everyone that backed the truck up with me at 87 cents that fateful night of the major pullback. I really, really focused on Morpho for that buying opportunity, and we are up over 100% from that movement. It feels damn good. Whew. Now I got to check out the chat. Base is going to take over. Let's see here. A lot of people consolidating. ICP built for AI. You know, ICP, I could say it is built and acceptable for AI needs. ICP is trying to take over the little entire internet. Probably a next cycle conversation. If ICP can keep the lights on and at least decent price action this market, next market, I will take ICP more seriously on that move. Where is ICP even on this? I know it was in the top 20 the last time I was looking at it real heavily. It has fallen, apparently. Oh, my God. All right. So it's number 37 now. Price action at $5.81. You know, ICP's got to keep the lights on. It's got to improve its marketing regime. It is trying to round out this general pattern here. I think, ICP to $10 is easy. ICP needs to keep the lights on and shake off this early chart disgust, that's showing here. Maybe they need to rebrand like everyone else. It's interesting that they haven't decided to rebrand to get rid of the old graph. I feel like a lot of these projects try to rebrand so they don't have to include their release levels. But yeah, ICP trying to round off this sell-off moment here. If ICP can keep the lights on into next bull market, then we can start talking about an internet based on Web3. The world's not ready for it right now. That's my condensed investment theses about ICP. I've made really good money off ICP trading it, just not in the zone where I'd be willing to go back into it. Next cycle ICP would be labeled a dead project. Definitely potential. Caffeine, you reminded me. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. So yesterday was legs and I hated everything about it. I was doing just basic ass dead or squats and he's hated it. Gonna keep doing it, obviously. Getting old sucks. Creaky knees. Nothing worse than some creaky knees. What are my thoughts on Injective? And then we'll go check a look at Alien Base. Let's go check out Injective. So Injective has been a generalized bull case for me. And I did get in and out of this project. Now we're starting to break up here. I'm trying to do some good stuff on Injective. Let's see here. So on the Ding Dong Daily, as Piano Matty B says, and shout out to Piano Matty B. I missed getting on his show this morning. I had to get on the Discover show. We're at about $14 for Injective. Pretty good price action on the week. A lot to be desired in terms of being overshadowed by a lot of other projects that are starting to breach these old school levels. Injective still has a long way to go. December of 2024, that last kind of hyper moment for Injective, it was at $34, right? Injective overall structurally higher lows here. Structurally higher lows, volume not negative. It's up 7% on volume. The chart does not look bad at all to me. This chart doesn't look bad at all to me. In general, I think Injective is one of those ones, it's like a blue chip alt that's got its moment in the sun. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense, but at the opportunity level that we're at, we're at like a 1.3 bill. I could see this going to, $5 billion market cap. I absolutely could. I don't think Injective is in too bad of a position right now. And I think what we're looking at, $10 is a huge proving ground. I'd watch out for, kind of short-term juicy entry points. As long as the market doesn't flop and grope and roll over in general, I think $10 would be a good strong point hold position for Injective. But right now, systems are a go, you guys. Systems are a go. On this channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more deep dives on each particular project and their market structures, highlight the nuances from one project to the next to give you that deeper alpha on crypto, because there's going to be a lot of popping up in our brains as we're doing moon math on 100 different projects. Everything is going nuts. This is fun. Drew is only 24. The stress of crypto has really got to him. God, man, I am getting old. I am 37 years old. I'm pretty sure he's 21 with 10 kids. Oh, the knees, they're getting old, folks. Well, it's a beautiful day. You know, I hope that you guys are holding on tight. There is a lot of disbelief in the markets right now. What I see happening is a failure to communicate, that things go absolutely berserk when the hint of risk appetite comes back to the markets. The chaos is coming back. The animal spirits are here. Pengu is turning into frickin' Pez. And there are literally people out there betting against crypto right now. It absolutely blows my mind. Have the unmitigated gall to bet against Bitcoin strategic reserves, against the rollout of the treasury in their fever pitch FOMO moment where they realize stable coins can help hoist up the Ponzi fiat dollar. We have a hybrid system now. And really what I see over the next few months here is the need to explain how to avoid mistakes in this market, because things are going to hit that fever pitch, speculative realm, and people are going to sell themselves short. I feel that way in my bones, and that's why I'm very, very focused on delivering the data as I see it to you, very raw. Sometimes it's uncomfortable data, like that data I got out of the Clarity Act. It's very raw, but if we're looking at this system, they want the most decentralized projects out there to start with. It makes sense. You have to dip your toes. You got to crawl before you can walk. And there is a lot of concern about consolidated bags with some of these projects, control bags, people that have over 20% of the supply. That brings up some major red flags for the government entities, and they are picking and choosing winners right now. So we got to be cognizant and keep our ear to the train tracks to find out which of these projects are getting special and preferential treatment. Because if we get in on these projects before that actually does occur, and before the banking infrastructure is upended by the now new animal in the room, which is DeFi, before this occurs, we got to get positioned, because this is the time to literally change our lives. Our bloodlines can literally change forever if we make the right moves right now. And we are based enough to hold the projects through the volatility, and we just know where the larger conversation is going. We literally have the opportunity right now in front of us to change our bloodline forever. So take that stuff seriously. If you got kids, you know how important I take my financial security for my kids. You know that I take that stuff seriously. If you're the same, if you're looking at the long term, you can absolutely do the same. Let's go take a look at Alien Base token here. Check out what ALB is looking like. We've seen a lot of fever pitch coming to alts. Is it bleeding down to the Alien Base network here? This is the all-time graph, and she trying, baby. She trying. Let's go to the 1 day. We're barely down on the 1 day, up 42% on the week. This is a revival pump, it appears. Okay, so there's something pretty clear here, is we have a W pattern. A pretty clearly formed, not completed yet, W pattern building up on Alien Base. This is a total micro cap. So if bullishness even sneezes on a micro cap like this, is that $15 million market cap right now? Volume nicely up, 7% up on the day. That's good to see. Activity. Maybe I endure up back into this, because I totally I top blasted essentially. I got it like 25 cents. Got out for 20 cents, saw the market rolling over. It did. Now we're down to 8.5 cents. Maybe I can buy my own pain of the past to cause my own pleasure of the future. Sometimes that's what you got to do to make those gains. When you see the sentiment changing, it's okay to batten down the hatches. I avoided going from 25 cents down to 8 cents where we're at. But now that we're down to 8 cents, I'm seeing sentiment kind of shift. The bullishness come back to the market, that fever pitch feeling that everyone looks for. When we talk about bull markets past, we are knocking on the door of it right now. I hope you guys are prepared for this. It's absolutely forever young. Who's forever young? I don't feel forever young. Let's see here. Do you think black will pull back towards $1? Let's go check out black. Oh, good to see a two pump crypto champ, my man. Oh my God. Good to see you, brother. All right, let's go to what was that? Black? Black is like the aerodrome of, you know how aerodrome was the spot for base. Black looks like it's setting up the precedent to be the spot for aerodrome, or for Avalanche rather. I am big on seeing Avalanche ecosystem continue to thrive, and I think it will continue doing so. This is such fresh data. It's hard to say if we're going to get this shelf, man, but $1 is the pretty clear preferred buying shelf for me myself. This thing's only been out for a few days. This is, in my opinion, going to be an in and out alt season play. If I see that dollar move, though, I'm getting some. That is my opinion. It's at $1.38 right now. If I see that dollar entry point come for Black, I'll put about a 1% allocation of my portfolio into it because I do want to have exposure to that project. Just my thoughts on it. Just my thoughts on it. So with all that being said, it's a beautiful day. It's a Friday. Your kids, your loved ones, I can't stress this enough. They're looking forward to spending time with you this weekend. So make sure to treat your family with love, care, give them hugs, give them kisses. This is what we're in it for. It's to change our bloodline's trajectory financially forever in crypto. We are knocking on the door of a disgusting alt season. All of the regulatory is rolled out on a red carpet, and it's up to us to take that action. So I love and appreciate every single one of you out there in the chat. Thank you for joining me on the show, and I'll be back to you on Monday with some big, big changes. Make sure you're in that Discover Investments Group Discord to stay up to date with all my live streams. Big changes on the way. You're going to be seeing me on Discover a lot more. I'll see you soon, and take care.